and Facebook present Code for the Next Billion.
Welcome back. You're watching Code for the Next Billion, a special initiative brought to you by CNBC TV 18's Young Turks in partnership with NASSCOM 10,000 Startups and Facebook. I'm Shireen Bhan. Now, one of the cornerstones of this month-long incubation program is to give our startups touch points to industry veterans, subject matter experts and, of course, entrepreneurs. At the Mumbai boot camp, Anindita Guha, the head of product and product marketing at Webaru, spoke to our startups about the challenges of building and scaling a product. Here are the highlights from that no-holds-barred session.
When you have a startup, you have regular crisis, you have money problems, you have resource problems, space problems, politics, fighting. I don't like this anymore. I started off, but it's not working anymore. So every time I insist, you guys, please go back and ask yourself this. So obviously I was working with these IITians. I mean, obviously, IITians, right? And I was the product person, and I had to go and tell them that this is what you have to do. Product is the hero at the end of the day. No matter how skilled you are, the product is the hero. If you don't have a viable product, it doesn't work. Research before you develop, evaluate competition. I don't need to explain this. Defining priority is the key. What is priority? The widget, which was blue, needs to be orange, or the UI that broke. What is priority? Every department is going to portray that their work is priority. QA will have a priority, engineering will have a priority, design will have a priority. It's you guys who have to decide what is priority. Pre-sell before you sell. I hate my CEO for this, okay? Because as a product person, I would say, but we are not ready. Everything is broken. And he would go and sell a dream to like 4 companies, okay? But it will come, but eventually that's where we are going. And I would be like, dude, you eventually get there and you get amazing feedback. And that's how it works. They will ask for the world, decide your own payload from a product perspective. Very important. You know, payload. Guys, you have to decide your own payload. Every customer will ask 50 things. Engineering dev cycles are long and large and few and far in between. Please stick to 1 backend builds per cycle. Do not take hot fixes. Everybody is going to say this is priority, but decide your payload and stick to it. Hire few but multi-skilled people. Okay? I will only do Java. I will never learn PHP. I don't want you. Okay? It works because this is a startup, new product. You don't know anything. Neither does that poor engineer. Okay? But if he comes with an attitude saying, oh, I want to be in the next Google. Okay, fine, but learn your way, right? Outsource smaller jobs and projects, hire interns if required. Interns, a great way of getting work done. Okay? Half of my work is done by IIT interns. Hire them for 4 months, get a specific project, done, boom, finished. Okay? No HR, no hiring. Stick to your vision, say it loud, so that everybody sticks to it. Today you have decided you want to create a product, stick to it. Believe me, that's the most difficult thing to do. After 3 months, you will see so many additions and subtractions from your original vision. Because the client wanted it, India cannot give me this, there are no tools available, your vision just changes. Stick to it. It's very important. QA, and more QA, and be paranoid about it. Please, I learned this the hard way, okay? QA, very important. By QA, okay, bootstrap condition, you may not have a QA team to help you with everything. Try tools. There are user testing tools. There are enough people, your friends, your family, anybody who should be looking at your UI, who should be telling you, iOS is OS version pe aapka app nahi chalta hai. We in our small little worlds, we think, oh, great UI, great versions, great whatever. I have struggled with Android versions. I have struggled with iOS versions. iOS, Android works, web doesn't work. Okay? It's a major problem. And normally you'll see these bugs will arise once you've gone live on prod. Okay? They will always arise. So you're like, oh, but itna Android kharid ke main kaise test karu? Correct. You cannot buy all the Android phones available in the market, but you have enough friends and family and maybe you can outsource it. But please do a thorough and quick QA before you release any builds. Be really paranoid about your UI. invest in a good designer. Designers are very, very far and few in between. They're very expensive, but invest in a good designer. If your product is UI centric, which is why we see apps coming out of the US, the Valley specifically, they are very, very agnostic. You know, you will identify with it, a Mexican will identify with it, an Arabic guy will identify with it. Whereas from India, you instantly know that it's an Indian product. Be very sleek about the UI and minimal. The minimalistic the UI is, the better it is in terms of adoption.
Ma'am, you told about user testing not to use it. Was it like expensive or was it not the worth of $10,000?
No, so you know what happens is when you start with an idea, that's what happened to me. When you start with an idea, you presume that you're going to stick to that idea. Your idea is going to change. Like I started with an app idea. I've gone the API route now. Now user testing is useless basically for me now. You understand? So invest, especially in a boot. See, I'm lucky. I have a company which is well funded. But invest in something which will yield you results immediately. And things like user testing, things like other tools, maybe step 2, maybe step 3, not immediately.
Given the scenario that engineers in 2 years they are being paid a lot, as a startup, how do you convince the engineer to join you?
We go the intern route. We pick up the interns, we see, and then we retain the interns. We don't go into the market essentially looking for a good engineers. Believe me, they will never come. And even if they do, they leave you in a month or so. So there are enough freelance sites, okay, where you will find these developers who may not be in India essentially. They could be in Ukraine, they could be in Jerusalem, Israel, wherever. Okay, you could try that route. It has worked for me. And the second thing is go to the lesser known colleges where you get good talent. Keep a stringent selection process, pick them up, train them, and they work better.
How are you seeing the web thing as like most of the people are going to app?
Yeah, when you start, please clearly demarcate. Are you a mobile first or are you web? Because I got stuck. Okay, we kept saying mobile first, then everybody came and said, nahi, web pe bhi chahiye. And then I didn't have any web developers. Okay, so if you're mobile first, stick to that. Do not, like for example Slack, I don't know how many of you have seen Slack. They started from web, okay, and then they went mobile. WhatsApp, just mobile. Right now what they've given is just a simulator for your client. And as far as your question is concerned, no, web is not going anywhere. With HTML5, I think we are seeing sleeker designs, better UI, and better functionality. And web is the fastest because obviously server, right? So there is no going and coming back. There are no API calls, etc. So it is a good medium. So if you're thinking of a business on web, sure. Just make sure it's responsive.
Well, with that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of Code for the Next Billion. As always, do tune in same time, same place next week as we bring you more exciting startup stories. Till then, from the team, goodbye and many thanks for watching.
The success of your platform is not in the revenue. The success criteria of your platform is the number of users using your platform.
NASSCOM 10,000 startups, CNBC TV 18 and Facebook present Code for the Next Billion.